Hey folks, Matt from the Matt Ballard Show. So I'm reading about this Don't Say Gay bill and I'm scratching my head. I'm going, what is going on? How can this be happening in 2011? Uh, Tennessee, not your proudest moment. You're proving yourself to be a backward state. So for those of you that don't know what the Don't Say Gay bill is, basically what it is they're trying to prevent the middle schools and elementary schools from using any type of instruction or material that even discusses or mentions the word gay or homosexuality. Essentially, the only thing they want taught in the schools is heterosexuality. In fact, they even had to make some modifications to the bill to protect the fact that they could use heterosexuality and teach heterosexuality. Now, I'm not gay, and many of you watching aren't as well. So you're thinking, how does this affect me? And that's a good question. Remember freedom of speech? Have we given that up so easily? This is directly related to that. Taking away freedom of speech. Gonna try and not talk about the gays and just pretend they don't exist. What about the Nazis? Remember the Nazis? This is the type of crap they would have pulled and in fact implemented. So if you think this doesn't concern you because you're not gay, think again. When we allow oppression of any group of members or any member of our society, it affects us all. Remember what another great trekker once said, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. With the first link, a chain is forged. The first speech censored, the first thought forbidden, the first freedom denied, chains us all irrevocably. Now, that sounds like something that Martin Luther King would have said, or any of the other great human rights activists of our time. And it's true, because how can this be happening? How can we be going back? How can we be turning the clock back? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the beginning of oppression, and when you start this, when you start to allow this, who's next? Who's going to be next? Who will we sit back and allow? Who's going to be picked on? Who we're going to sit back and say, it's not us, I'll be quiet, and I'll let it happen. Remember that little story, that I forget exactly how it goes, but it was, I sat back and watched it happen to the Jews because I wasn't Jewish. I sat back and watched it happen to the blacks, and then when they came for me, there was nobody left to help. There's a string there of a few more people involved, but the point is, if you sit back and let things like this happen, you have no right to be surprised when all of a sudden something is directly affecting you and your freedoms, or somebody's at your door impinging on your freedom. The Don't Say Gay bill is nothing more than thinly veiled hate. We used to have laws against hate crimes in this country, and now it seems as if they're passing hate into law. Let's hope that this doesn't ultimately go through in Tennessee, or at least that somebody wakes up and revokes it. One of the good things that I've seen, George Takei from, he was Mr. Sulu on Star Trek, and he's openly gay, came out in 2005. And he's had some really, he's very funny as far as his videos and whatnot, especially in support of the gay and lesbian community. And he's got a really good video out on the Don't Say Gay. I'll put the link down below. You should have a watch of it. It's funny. And basically he's lending his name, Takei, to the gays. He says use his name anywhere you'd say gay. Maybe it'll be less hurtful, especially if you are gay and having a hard time with it. He says you can say you're in support of Takei marriage. Maybe it's easier than saying you're in support of gay marriage. He says if you're in a more festive mood, maybe you'd like to march in a Takei pride parade. Or he says even homophobic slurs don't seem as hurtful if someone says that is so Takei. He's even got a website up for it. It's okay to be Takei.com. He's donating all the proceeds to charity. So thank goodness we have strong members of society that will stand up and speak out against this type of crap. At a time when the gay movement is making many steps forward and gaining ground, the Presbyterian Church has just voted to allow in America that openly gay clergy can be gay. The clergy can be gay. So, that's a step forward, and here, step backwards. Tennessee, shame on you. You shouldn't be letting this happen. You should be ashamed of the people that are in power. You should do something to stop it. People can rise up, people can take control. Remember, with the first link, a chain is forged. You may not be in support of this personally, and that's fine. You're not gay, or you don't particularly support gays, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in support of legislation to oppress them, because what group are you part of? The next legislation could oppress you. That chain can be forged, and it starts with the first link you allow to be forged. It's not right. It's not right, you know. It's scary, really, to see this type of backwards thinking coming around and actually getting entrenched in legislation. So anyways, folks, thanks for listening. We'll be back soon with some new commentary on news and whatever's going on that turns my crank or doesn't. And stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at the Matt Ballard Show. Thanks for tuning in.